Boxing King Media in association with Boxro. Pat Barrett, big night for your guy Lyndon Arthur this Saturday, live on Channel 5. How happy are you to start off with for him, because he's had nearly a year out the ring and he gets the headline on Channel 5 straight away?
Well, it's like it says. I mean, I'm very happy really just getting back in the ring, and he's actually done this fight. He's prepared better for this fight than he did with the yard fight. I mean, what I mean by that is mentally as well as physical. But he's done everything what we've asked. He's worked well. He's trained. You know, I can't emphasise how happy I am with the camp and how his attitude's been. It's been great. We've worked together like a dream team. I mean, not saying that we haven't, but I think the yard fight was more like it was so many. I think the hype of him beating yards so easy was very like, I can't explain it. Like, you know, he didn't realise he had to do the same thing again, and he thought it was going to be that easy, but he just didn't work as mentally prepared for it as he did physically. All the physical side of it, he trained hard. The mental side of it, he was just too casual for me. But this time round, I see a massive change in attitude in every way. He's spiteful when he's punching without trying to load up. He's relaxed. He's back to the way that I would like him to be in the first place.
Definitely. I said to him earlier, I think, people have kind of forgot that he was a knockout artist early on. Like, he blew everyone away, when he was fighting on early on. And then the last few years, people have kind of appreciated more his boxing skills, his jab especially. Do you think we're going to see the knockout artist back this Saturday? Because that's what he's saying.
It's not about look. I don't train kids to be knockout artists. I train kids to be intelligent. And if their boxing ability is what outstands them, and that's what makes them good, then so be it. Knockouts are something that we set up, and we don't just go in there. We're not like these guys like Mike Tyson that were natural big punchers. We work off our boxing skill and our boxing brain and our boxing IQ, our boxing intelligence, and look for the openings to find out where the next one is. Show something there to set one up there. So hopefully that's what we're going to see a lot from Linden. We're going to see his intelligence, his agility, his ability, his speed, so his jab, all the things that we love to see in Linden. Hopefully we'll get spells of that with this opponent.
Definitely. And what do you know much about his opponent? Obviously he's Argentinian. He has been stopped a few times, but he's got a lot of wins on his record and a lot of knockouts.
I mean, yeah, but see what it is. As I've said before, I take every fight as serious and make sure Lyndon respects his opponent. We don't look at nobody as a walkover. This is an easy fight. We're looking at that. This is a hard fight. An easy fight is what we make it. And if we don't work together as a team, we can make this a very difficult, tough fight. But as it is now, it's all about respecting his opponent. And his opponent is very, very durable. So, and he can pose anybody difficulties.
Definitely, he has been to the UK before, and I think he fought Anthony Yard. I can't remember what round he got stopped in. So he's got experience of fighting, top guys in the UK, and that'll probably help him in some way.
Yeah, I mean, like I just says, I mean, I'm not looking past this guy. I mean, I'm looking at the guy, and hopefully, come Saturday night we do the business. The way I won it with Lyndon and the way I've said it with Lyndon, let's do everything correctly and properly. And only as good as your last performance. This last performance that he had before, we'll all start taking it from where we're at now, and that will be forgotten.
Definitely. The long-term plans, are you thinking that you want Linden to stay on that domestic route with potential Dan Aziz fight down the line?
Domestic route, he's not on a domestic route. He's not on a domestic route. He's not been on a domestic route. Just because he lost the fight, that's put him on a domestic route. That was the wrong thing to say. Linden.
Let me reword it. What I'm trying to say is, obviously, when I said domestic route, I mean fighting Dan Aziz, or do you want to go down the European and world scene?
Look, Dan Aziz, no disrespect to Linden, we don't need to go back. For him to beat Linden, or to fight Linden, that's him coming forward. Yeah. For us to fight Dan Aziz, we'd be going backwards. We can always come back on the British level, if need be, European level, if need be. We was only one step, a fraction of a step away from the world level. And all we have to do is have 1-2 fights back in, which working with Channel 5 sold him, this is what's going to make it easier for us. 2 fights back and he's there. So he's not on the domestic. Domestic is when you've got nowhere to go. We've got options. We can fight for that. But I think it's a backward step. Leave it on ice. We can always come back down to that. If it comes to Documentaries fighting him, it will be for something above the British. Yeah. If we was to lose or whatever, because say we don't, but if we was to do, then we can always come back and clear up on the British scene and then elevate and go from there. But there's no way we're going to say that fight has knocked us all the way back.
Yeah, that's the point I wanted to make. That is Dan Aziz a potential fight, or you're looking far beyond that? And obviously you've made that point. So, and obviously the other guys in your gym as well. You've got Amar Akbar fighting in a week's time. A word on his development and what can we expect to see from his next outing?
With Amar, I mean, he's improving with every fight he's going to have. He's getting better and better, and this kid is going to be something. To me, he's one of the best I've seen in boxing in a long time. He's a natural, and he brings a lot. And the more he has these fights, the more he starts believing in his own ability, and it's going to become natural. He's going to be one of the best young fighters that's ever going to come out of Britain in a long time. And I mark my word, and I'm not just saying it because he's with me. Even if he wasn't with me and he was anywhere else, he's going to be that type of fighter because he is that good.
Definitely. I was quickly back on Linden because I asked him the same question. Obviously, you and Linden are quite strongly opinionated characters. Obviously, you've known him since he was a baby, like he said. You know him inside out. Is there any stories you could kind of share with us from, along the way that the fans may not know, that you've got a personal experience with Linden, just something different?
Not really.
I know the time that you obviously picked him up off the street and you dragged him to the gym and said, right, mate, give this sport everything you've got and you will get something out of it. And I read that somewhere recently. But any other stories that you could share with us?
Oh, there's no other stories. I mean, the story about Lyndon is a kind, loving, passionate guy. He's a family man. And he's a great father. He's a great son. He's a great cousin. He's a really nice kid. A lot of people don't see the nicest in Lyndon. He's a funny guy, even though he doesn't come across. I mean, there's a lot of great things about Lyndon that a lot of people don't see. We have a funny relationship, me and Lyndon.
He said it's love and hate.
It's love and it is sweet and sour. It's definitely that. But it's also, it keeps him on his toes because when he's not boxing, he's an absolutely great friend. I get on with him. When it comes to being in the gym, he's sometimes Lyndon, because they grow up, don't they? And they go to men and they have their own opinions, and sometimes, then they start thinking that they can tell you that little bit more like, I'm doing wrong, but I've done right to get us all the way here. And he's entitled to have an opinion, and if he wants to try something different, we're going to try it. But if I don't think it's going to benefit, it's going to take us back, we won't do it. And sometimes that's where we have problems, because he's always got to think it's got to be my way. But my way is to look out for him.
Nicely put. And I just want to quickly get your opinion on this AJ Fury situation. Obviously, the fight looks like it's very close to getting made. But if you was training AJ, would you take that Fury fight immediately after the 2 losses to Usyk?
No, I've just been asked that same question before. I don't really know, because no one doesn't know what's going through a fighter's head. It's hard because me, Lyndon, have got a good relationship as a trainer and a fighter. Love and hate, good and bad, arguments, but we're always going to work as a team. Same with me and Zelfa. So I'm always going to know what's going through their heads. I can later on drive down, go and see them, sitting down, have a talk, find out, have a proper art-to-art, man-to-man kind of conversation, and they'll open up to me. And I think, who's AJ got for that, really, as a trainer? People say his team. You've got to have somebody that you can trust, that you love, that you respect, that you can put your heart to, who's not going to laugh at you or think you're an idiot. And that's where the kind of thing is. So he's making decisions for himself, and sometimes are they right, are they wrong? I don't know. I can't be opinionated on AJ, because I don't really know him to be opinionated on him. But would I take that fight so soon? No, I probably wouldn't. I'd probably say, look, so have one fight in, just get a flow. But I don't know, it's different.
And then Canelo Triple G this weekend. Most people are picking Canelo to stop Triple G. Does he stop him?
Do you know what? Again, I think I don't know. I think them fights take a lot out of each other, and I think Canelo's got the edge on Triple G for me because he's a lot more active than Triple G. So just slightly tipping with Canelo.
And just to wrap up on your own promotion, Black Flash, what you've got coming up? I know you've got a show coming up on October the 15th. You can let the fans know about that.
Yeah, I mean, I've got a show coming up October the 15th at the AJ Bell. I've got November the 5th back in Cardiff. I know.
Big success last time around in Cardiff, and you're back there again because people are crying out for shows in Cardiff.
Yeah, I mean, I've got a fighter down there, and I love the Cardiff people, and I love the Cardiff fans, and I just like the Cardiff fighters. They're just great bunch of people to work with. So, yeah, going back down there for November the 5th, and hopefully there'll be good fireworks going on.
And the show at the AJ Bell, you said on the 15th, yep.
Yeah, that's all my own lads and lads that I manage and lads that I train and lads that I'm working with. So yeah.
Right, Pat, thank you for your time. Anything else you want to add before I let you go?
Cheers, thank you.
Cheers.